They walk through life with a softness people notice immediately, a calm presence, a gentle voice, a heart that feels everything more deeply than it shows. But beneath that softness lies a mind built from survival, sharpened by intuition and strengthened by every moment they had to protect themselves alone. Sigma empaths carry a dual identity that few ever see coming, a soul made of compassion and a mind capable of decoding any hidden motive in seconds. People approach them thinking they've met someone delicate, harmless, easy to read, but what they've actually encountered is someone who sees straight through masks, manipulations, and emotional games long before they start. This dual nature is what makes Sigma empaths so rare. Their soft heart makes them understanding, patient, and deeply loyal, the kind of person who listens without judgment and feels emotions with full intensity. But their dangerous mind is the part forged in silence, built from learning who to trust, who to avoid, and when to walk away without hesitation. They've been hurt enough to recognize patterns instantly. They've been misunderstood enough to observe everything quietly, and they've grown wise enough to know that protecting their peace is not coldness, it's strategy. They can love deeply and detach instantly. They can forgive genuinely and never forget the lesson. They can care for someone while seeing every flaw they try to hide. Now I want to ask you something personal. Which side of you do people underestimate more, your soft heart or your dangerous mind? Your answer will tell me exactly what kind of Sigma empath you are. And if this message felt like it was written about you, make sure you subscribe to Brainy Empath because this channel exists for people who live with emotional depth and quiet power. If you made it to the end, type dual so I know you're one of the rare ones who understands both sides of their identity. Their soft heart feels everything, but their mind analyzes even more. Stigma empaths walk through life carrying two forces inside them that rarely exist together: a heart that absorbs emotions with raw sensitivity and a mind that dissects every detail with surgical precision. Their softness is real. They feel sadness before the tears fall, tension before voices rise, disappointment before the truth is spoken. But while their heart reacts instantly, their mind is already breaking everything down, reading the energy, interpreting the unspoken, and analyzing the intention behind every moment. This dual process happens so quickly it feels instinctive. They don't only feel the room, they understand it. They don't just absorb emotions, they decode them. Their heart gives them depth, but their mind gives them clarity, and together they create a perception few people can match. Growing up with this combination feels like living in two worlds at once. Their heart wants to care, comfort, heal, and understand everyone. It gravitates towards softness, kindness, sincerity, but their mind stands beside it like a silent guardian, warning them when a smile feels too practiced, when a story doesn't line up, when someone's energy shifts in a way that doesn't feel right. Even as children, Sigma empaths could sense when someone had hidden motives, when affection came with expectations, when kindness felt transactional. Their heart would lean in, but their mind would pull back, evaluating, observing, protecting. This internal split doesn't weaken them, it strengthens them. It teaches them empathy without gullibility, compassion without blindness, softness without naivety. And though others see only the tender side, the quiet listener, the understanding friend, the gentle presence, they rarely notice the sharp intelligence operating underneath. Sigma empaths are experts at seeing what people try to hide. They catch micro expressions others miss. They notice inconsistencies in tone. They feel when someone's words and energy don't match. They analyze patterns, motives, and emotional shifts with a depth that makes them seem far older than their age. Their heart might connect first, but their mind always verifies. Their emotions are open, but their insight is unshakable. This is why they rarely fall for manipulation or deception, not because they're cold, but because they are uniquely equipped to sense danger wrapped in charm. Over time, they realize that this dual identity is their greatest strength. Their soft heart allows them to love deeply, connect authentically, and care fearlessly. Their analytical mind shields that softness from those who would misuse it. They can hold space for someone's pain while simultaneously recognizing the truth behind it. They can give compassion without losing themselves in the process. They can trust, but never blindly. And this balance, this ability to feel fully while thinking clearly, is what makes Sigma empaths powerful. They navigate navigate life with both intuition and intelligence, emotion and awareness, softness and strategy. Their heart understands humanity, their mind protects it. They can sense lies, hidden intentions, and emotional danger instantly. Sigma empaths don't wait for proof, clues, or confessions. Their intuition reacts the moment someone's energy shifts. They can feel a lie before it's spoken, sense manipulation before it unfolds, and recognize emotional danger from a single change in tone. Their mind works like a silent radar, tracking microexpressions, pauses, inconsistencies, and unspoken tension with incredible accuracy. People assume Sigma empaths are quiet because they're shy, but the truth is simpler. They're listening to what others overlook. They study the space between words, the emotion behind the smile, the intention beneath the compliment. And when something feels wrong, their entire system responds. The heart tightens, the mind sharpens, the intuition steps forward like an alarm they've carried since childhood. That instinct grows with experience. While others fall for charm, charisma, and pretty words, Sigma empaths feel the disconnect instantly. They notice when someone's story shifts by an inch. They sense when someone is being overly nice for a reason. They detect subtle power plays, emotional traps, and ulterior motives long before the other person even realizes they've been exposed. They can hear dishonesty in the softness of a voice, see envy behind a friendly gesture, or feel aggression hiding behind a calm expression. Their sensitivity turns into pattern recognition. They know exactly how manipulation begins, how lies take shape, and how emotional danger breathes. And instead of confronting it loudly, they protect themselves quietly, stepping back, withdrawing energy, watching from a safe distance while pretending nothing happened. This instinct doesn't come from fear, it comes from wisdom. Sigma empaths have been lied to, underestimated, and emotionally used in ways that taught them to read people with precision. Their soul remembers every time they trusted the wrong person, every moment they ignored a warning sign, every situation where their kindness was mistaken for weakness. So now their intuition is fierce. When deception flickers, they don't explain it. They simply know. Their silence becomes strategy, their distance becomes protection, and their awareness becomes a form of emotional armor no one sees, but everyone eventually feels. People who try to manipulate them often walk away confused, unsure why their usual tactics failed. They don't realize Sigma empaths already saw the entire map of their intentions. And this is why Sigma empaths feel older than their age. Carrying this kind of perception forces them to grow emotionally fast, to understand danger early, and to navigate relationships with maturity most people never reach. They trust energy more than explanations, patterns more than promises, intuition more than charm. They live with an awareness that never sleeps, one that keeps them safe, grounded, and silently powerful. They don't expose lies, they outgrow them. They don't fight manipulation, they avoid it. They don't fear emotional danger, they see it coming long before it arrives. They love deeply, but detach instantly when respect is broken. Sigma empaths don't love halfway. When they choose someone, they pour sincerity, loyalty, and emotional depth into that connection. Their love is patient, intuitive, and nurturing in a way that makes others feel seen in their rawest form. But this depth comes with a boundary sharper than most people expect. The moment respect is broken, something inside them shifts instantly. A door closes, a silence forms. The emotional bridge they built so carefully collapses without hesitation. It's not revenge, not anger, not punishment, it's protection. Sigma empaths can continue caring, but the attachment severs in a single heartbeat. The same heart that loved deeply becomes the same mind that understands with absolute clarity that the relationship has crossed a line that cannot be undone. People often misunderstand this switch. They think Sigma empaths are cold for walking away so quickly, but they don't see the truth behind the silence. Sigma empaths give their whole heart only when they feel safe. They show their softness only when trust feels stable. They stay loyal because they believe in the connection. But once someone disrespects their boundaries, lies to them, manipulates them, belittles their feelings, or takes their empathy for granted, the illusion breaks. And when the illusion breaks, the attachment dies. Their intuition steps forward and says, this is no longer love, this is harm. And without drama or explanation, they disconnect emotionally in a way that feels final, quiet, and irreversible. This ability to detach is not cold-hearted, it's self-respect in its purest form. Sigma empaths have spent their lives giving too much to the wrong people, loving people who weren't ready or trusting people who only valued their softness, not their boundaries. They learned early that staying attached to someone who disrespects them is a form of emotional self-destruction. So now, the moment someone crosses that invisible line, their soul withdraws its permission. The warmth disappears, the emotional access closes, and the connection becomes something they observe rather than feel. They don't argue, they don't chase, they don't beg for understanding. They simply let go with a calmness that comes from knowing they must protect their spirit. And this is what makes their love both beautiful and dangerous. When they love you, you feel it in ways few people can offer. But if you break their respect, you lose access to a heart you will never find again. Sigma empaths are not afraid of attachment. They are afraid of losing themselves in connections that no longer honor who they are. Their detachment is not cruelty, it's wisdom earned from every heartbreak they survived. And when they walk away, it's not because they don't love anymore, it's because they finally learned to love themselves first. Their empathy makes them gentle, their intuition makes them impossible to deceive. Sigma empaths move through the world with a softness that feels rare. They listen without judgment, they comfort without expecting anything back, and they understand emotions others can barely put into words. Their empathy is warm, sincere, and calming, the kind of presence that makes people open up effortlessly. But what most don't realize is that beneath this gentle exterior lies an intuition sharper than a blade. And their heart welcomes you, but their mind watches everything. They may offer you kindness, but they will not offer you blindness. They feel emotions deeply, yet they analyze energy even deeper. And that combination makes them one of the hardest personalities to deceive. People often misread their gentleness as naivety. They assume a soft-spoken mind is an unguarded one, that compassion comes paired with confusion, that kindness equals vulnerability. But Sigma empaths see more than they ever let on. While they sit quietly listening, they're also picking up on tone shifts, inconsistent words, flickers of hesitation, mismatched facial expressions, and subtle emotional tension. And their empathy lets them understand what you feel, but their intuition reveals what you hide. They can sense when someone's story doesn't align with their energy. They can feel an agenda beneath a compliment. They can pick up fear behind anger or guilt behind defensiveness. Their intuition translates these signals instantly, revealing truths long before anyone speaks them aloud. This is why manipulative people struggle with Sigma empaths. You cannot trick someone who reads intention instead of words. You cannot hide behind charm when they feel the insecurity beneath it. You cannot pretend to care when they sense the hollowness behind your actions. They give people the chance to be genuine, but they never fall for emotional disguises. Even when they allow someone close, their intuition continues to scan the emotional landscape, ensuring that the connection remains honest. Their softness may make you feel comfortable, but their perception ensures you remain real. And the moment they sense dishonesty, their energy shifts subtly yet decisively. They pull back, not with anger, but with clarity. They detach not because they want to, but because their intuition refuses to let them stay where truth has disappeared. This balance of empathy and intuition is what makes Sigma empaths feel older than their age. They understand human emotions with the innocence of someone who wants to help and with the wisdom of someone who has already seen too much. Their gentle heart creates safe spaces, but their intuitive mind protects those spaces fiercely. They give kindness freely, but access to their trust must be earned. And once they sense deception, even the smallest drop, that door closes quietly, permanently, without drama. Their dual nature makes them rare, soft enough to heal, wise enough to walk away, and perceptive enough to never be fooled. They forgive easily, but they never forget what someone taught them. Sigma empaths carry a heart that heals faster than most people expect, a heart that chooses compassion even after it's been bruised. They forgive easily because they understand that humans are flawed, emotional, and sometimes hurting in ways they can't express. Their empathy makes them see beyond the mistake to the wound underneath it. They don't hold grudges, they don't seek revenge, and they don't enjoy watching someone suffer for their actions. But forgiveness for them is not a reset button, it's a release. They let go of the pain, but they keep the lesson. They move forward with a calm spirit, but they never erase the truth of how someone made them feel. Forgiveness is their strength, but memory is their defense. People often mistake this for weakness. They assume that because Sigma empaths forgive, they are willing to return to the same dynamic, trust blindly again, or tolerate repeated disrespect. They couldn't be more wrong. Sigma empaths process every experience with a quiet depth most people never notice. When someone hurts them, they don't seek to punish, they observe. They take note of patterns, they analyze the intention behind the action. They understand whether the hurt came from ignorance, immaturity, selfishness, or something darker. And once that understanding settles, it becomes a permanent part of how they navigate that relationship. They may smile, they may be kind, they may move on, but the emotional blueprint of that moment never disappears. This is what makes them so powerful. Their forgiveness frees them from bitterness, but their memory shields them from repetition. They become wiser, sharper, more self-awareness with every disappointment they survive. They learn who deserves access and who deserves distance. They learn who can grow with them and who only drains them. They learn which connections are worth repairing and which ones must be left behind. And this wisdom transforms their boundaries into something unbreakable. Once someone teaches them who they truly are, whether through love or through harm, Sigma empaths believe them. They don't rewrite the truth to feel better. They don't pretend things will magically change. They move with clarity, even if their hearts still care. As they grow older, this duality becomes one of their defining strengths. They become known as the person who forgives with grace, but never returns to the same naivete. They can care about someone while refusing to give them the same trust again. They can remember the good while respecting the lessons of the bad. They don't cut people off impulsively. They simply adjust the role that person plays in their life. And that adjustment is permanent. Sigma empaths don't hold on to resentment. They hold on to truth. And once someone reveals their truth, Sigma empaths carry that lesson forever, not out of anger, but out of wisdom, earned the hard way. They appear calm and quiet, but their mind is always 3 steps ahead. Sigma empaths move through life with a stillness that confuses people. They sit quietly, they observe gently, and they rarely rush to speak, but behind that calm exterior is a mind constantly analyzing, predicting, and decoding everything around them. Their silence is not emptiness, it is calculation. While others react instantly, Sigma empaths process deeply. While others get swept up in emotion, they follow the subtle currents beneath it. People see their calmness and assume passivity, but they don't realize that Sigma empaths are mentally mapping out patterns, sensing shifts in intention, and anticipating outcomes long before they unfold. Their quietness hides an intelligence that never sleeps. This internal foresight develops early. As children, they learn to read situations before stepping into them. They sensed conflict before it erupted, disappointment before it surfaced, and emotional danger before anyone else noticed. Over time, this naturally evolved into strategic thinking. They began predicting how people would respond, which relationships would fracture, which paths were safe, and which conversations carried hidden motives. And because their intuition is so fast, their observations so precise, it often feels like they see the future in small emotional flashes. Their mind moves ahead while their body remains still, giving them an aura of mystery, the kind of quiet that feels intentional, grounded, and strangely powerful. Others misinterpret this quiet depth. Some think Sigma empaths are shy, others believe they're disinterested, and a few even assume they're oblivious to what's happening around them. But the truth is the opposite. They notice everything. They listen to the words people don't say, feel the emotions people try to hide, and understand the dynamics playing out in ways most people never will. Their mind calculates probabilities the way others make casual judgments. They can see when someone is about to betray them long before it happens. They can sense when a friendship is fading, when a relationship is shifting, or when a situation is turning harmful. And because they see these things early, they move through life with a calmness others mistake for innocence, but it's actually awareness. This mental precision makes Sigma empaths appear wise beyond their years. They don't panic when others do because they already anticipated the situation. They don't argue over small things because they've already analyzed the outcome. They don't chase people because they've already sensed their true intentions. Their mind is always preparing for what's next, quietly adjusting, quietly protecting, quietly guiding their action. The calm you see is the result of a lifetime spent reading the world with accuracy. The quiet you hear is the silence of someone whose thoughts run deeper than most people's conversations. And the intelligence they carry is not learned through books. It is born from intuition, observation, and emotional depth. They stay 3 steps ahead because their soul refuses to walk blind. Their softness is real, but so is the quiet power they carry inside. Sigma empaths move through life with a tenderness that feels both rare and disarming. Their softness is not an act, it's the natural expression of a heart that feels deeply and cares sincerely. They speak gently, listen fully, and understand emotions with a depth that makes others feel safe. But beneath that softness lives a quiet power, a strength forged through every hardship they've survived, every truth they've carried alone, and every moment they chose compassion without losing themselves. People often mistake their gentle nature for fragility, assuming softness means weakness, but they fail to see the steel beneath the calm, the resolve beneath the empathy, the fire beneath the stillness. This power is not loud or aggressive. It doesn't demand attention or force authority. It's the kind of strength people recognize only when they try to cross a boundary that should never be crossed. Their kindness has limits, their patience has edges, and their tolerance has a door that closes silently but permanently. Sigma empaths don't need to raise their voice to assert themselves. Their energy shifts, their intuition sharpens, and their silence becomes a wall no manipulation can climb. Their softness allows them to love deeply, but their strength allows them to walk away without looking back. They can forgive, but they do not return to what broke them. They can care, but they do not collapse for anyone. Their power is not in dominance, it is in self-respect. This quiet power grows from experiences that taught them emotional survival. They learned the difference between helping someone and carrying them. They learned the danger of giving too much to people who don't know how to receive. They learned that empathy without boundaries becomes self-destruction. And so they built strength not by hardening their heart, but by protecting it. They became thoughtful instead of reactive, selective instead of available, discerning instead of trusting blindly. Their power reveals itself in the decisions they make, who they give access to, who they keep at a distance, and when they choose silence over explanation. Strength doesn't roar inside them, it whispers, guides, and corrects their path. As they grow into themselves, Sigma empaths become the kind of person others remember long after they're gone, not because they were loud, but because they were unforgettable. Their softness comforts you, but their strength changes you. Their heart feels like a safe place, but their boundaries feel like a locked door you don't dare disrespect. They are living proof that you can be gentle without being weak, compassionate without being naive, and soft without being breakable. Their quiet power isn't something they show, it's something you feel the moment you try to misuse their kindness. And that balance is what makes them rare, mysterious, and undeniably strong. If you've ever felt that strange balance inside you, the softness that makes you feel everything and the quiet power that protects you from everything, then you already know what it means to be a Sigma empath. You aren't divided. You're complete. Every emotion you've carried, every boundary you've set, every instinct you've listened to has shaped you into someone gentle enough to heal others, yet strong enough to save yourself. That dual identity isn't a flaw, it's your evolution. And the more you grow into it, the more you realize you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be aware. Before you go, I want to ask you something real. What part of your dual identity do you hide the most? Your softness or your power? Tell me in the comments. Your answer will reveal a truth most people never say out loud. And if this video felt like it was speaking directly to your soul, make sure you subscribe to Brainy Empath. This is where people like you finally feel understood. If you watched all the way to the end, type unseen so I know you're one of the rare ones who carries a depth the world often overlooks.